Hello students, my name is Prerna and I am your EVS teacher. And from your EVS book Enviro, we are going to be reading chapter number 15. So let us start reading this chapter. Alright, this is chapter number 15. Now, the name of the chapter is Water in Our Lives and Its Properties. So what is uh, the necessity of water and where all do we get it from and what are its properties, what are its features. Let us start reading the chapter. More than 70% of the Earth's surface is covered with water, mostly in seas and oceans. It cannot be used for drinking or irrigating the fields. Only 3% is fresh water, in which 2% is frozen in the form of snow and glaciers. So only 1% is present for using. That's why water is considered to be precious. We use water for drinking, cooking, cleaning, bathing, washing clothes or dishes, and so many other things. And approximately even the 70% of the human body, it is said to be made up of water. And in fact, farmers also use approximately same amount of water for irrigation. Countries which have many rivers usually develop water transport. And of course, this helps them to move from one place to another, and it also encourages trade. Industries also need water and develop close to sources of water. Many big cities in the past were built on the banks of rivers of Ganga, Yamuna, Gomti, respectively. Now, what are the sources of water? So, let's go in the past and find out that when the technology had not developed so much, how is that people got water? Or where did they get water from? So, first we talk about underground wells or bowlies. Some wells were constructed with steps which go down to the level of water, and these were called as step wells or bowlies. The step wells are used for people as cool resting place during hot summers. You see most of these in Rajasthan and Jaipur, all these areas. And they have been in use for many centuries, used by travelers as well as for daily needs. Bowlies or step wells are not much in use these days, but some of them are being revived to maintain the level of groundwater. And you have one in Delhi also, which is Ajasenti Bowli and the Chand Bowli in Rajasthan. The next source of water was talab. Okay, so the rainwater got collected in talabs and sobas during rainy season. This water was then used for different purpose except for human consumption. Then you have pyaus. So in India, serving water to a thirsty person, it is considered as it is considered as a great act, as if it's almost like worshipping God. All right. So the pyaus were arranged. The word pyao means offering someone water to drink. And these are free drinking water service points in public spaces. The Gurudwara Nanak Pyao, a historic Gurudwara, it is situated on GT Karnal Road in Delhi. And it is said that Guru Nanak Ji often stayed here and offered water to thirsty passers-by. Now we come to modern sources of water. Modern days, electric pumps are used to pull out underground water or to fill up a water tank in housing colonies. From there, water travels through pipes to fill the overhead tank in each house. And then from these tanks, water flows down the internal water pipes of each house. And some cities, hot water, in the hot summer months, water is stored in large covered clay pots that are kept in the shade of trees by the roadside. Despite all these facilities, there are some villages in the urban slums at which people have to fetch water from wells or hand pumps, and they have to stand in long lines also so that they can get water. Now you have also the fact that modern days water supply, it has become much better, but a lot of water is also wasted. The step wells, they are not in much use, but some are being revived to maintain the level of ground water. All right. Now we come to water for irrigation. Water for irrigating fields is traditionally taken from wells and carried to the field. It is lifted up in several ways. Some farmers, they manually use a bucket or a bag made up of oat skin to lift water from a channel and pour it into the channels dug up for distribution of water. And this is called as trickling. Underground water is lifted from wells by a pulley using a system of rope. So you can see this lady from the well, she is pulling out the water. Irrigation for terrace farming, flow of water. Naturally, the flow of water is from higher to lower. We all know this. It flows and settles at the lowest level to form river-like oceans, river, lakes, and oceans. This helps farmers to irrigate their fields. In the mountains, molten snow or spring waters are channeled down the slope to reach the field. Some farmers cut steps called terraces in the mountain slopes so that the water flows from one step to another, and then finally the fields they can get their water. Irrigation for different crops. Different crops, of course, they have different water requirements. Millets need very little amount of water. Wheat needs a moderate amount of water. However, rice, maize, sugarcane, and jute, they need plenty of water. They need a lot of water. This supply of water has to be regulated. It has to be managed. It is best done by irrigation or the artificial supply of water to fields as and when a farmer needs to water the field. And this can be done by canals or tube wells or the wells. Tea bushes need a constant flow of water that does not settle at their roots but keeps them constant moist. That is why they are planted on a slope so that the water can keep on coming and then it can keep on sliding, right? Cotton also needs enough rainfall in the growing season, but at the harvest time, the fields should be dry and skies should be clear. All right. Now we talk about the properties of water. So water, if you look at this is a colorless liquid. It has no fixed shape. The quality of water, we generally say that, you should also be like water, that wherever you are put, you take the shape of that particular, wherever the water is put, it takes the shape of that particular vessel, right? And of course, it has the following properties. First is flotation and sinking properties. So we have observed that certain objects, when dropped in water, sink to its bottom, while there are others which float on its surface. This is due to the difference in density. And a very interesting fact, maybe you can do a little bit of research about. So if you put an iron nail in water, it will sink. But the entire ship, such a heavy ship, it sails smoothly on the water. Try and find out what could be the reason for this. A small nail, it sinks, but a big ship, it remains on water. What what is what is the scientific aspect to it? Try and find that out. The density of water is 1 kg per liter. It means that the volume of 1 liter of water weighs 1 kg. Okay. Then it says objects which are denser than water, they will sink in it. All right. So you find out the answer to the question that I've asked you. So now we talk about the solvent property of water. It says take a glass of water and put 1 tablespoon in it. Stir it in a spoon and you will observe that the salt will disappear slowly and slowly. This happens because water has the ability to dissolve or mix many substances in it. This is why it is called as a universal solvent. All right. So what I will do is I will show you this. Give me a moment. So let us do this experiment. So it says take a glass of water. So we have taken a glass of water. I'm holding a glass of water. And I have salt with me. All right. Let's put some salt in the water and we dissolve it. Okay. So all of you can see that I've taken a 1 tablespoon of salt. Now I put it in the glass of water. Right? Now let's just stir it and see what exactly happens. So what is happening? Okay. Now can you see the salt anywhere? Can you see any crystal of salt anywhere? No. What has happened? That now because and why has this happened? Because salt, it has mixed in the water, because water is a universal solvent. So you put anything in the water and it tends to dissolve in the water. I'm sure none of us want to taste this, right? Don't want to. So we'll keep this aside and we'll continue with the chapter. And we close the salt container also. And after we are done with the class, we'll make sure that we keep all these things back to their place, right? Being responsible, remember? All right. Once things are dissolved in water, they form something called a solution, which is a mixture of two or more things. So this is a solution of what? Water as well as salt. Now, besides these, gases like oxygen and carbon dioxide, they also dissolve readily in the water. Many plants and animals can live in water because of the dissolved oxygen. But there are some liquids which do not dissolve in water. So, like oil, sand, gravel, or wood. This is why certain paints are oil-based, so they do not get washed off during the rains. So, now you come to measurement of water. All liquids, including water, oil, milk, and juices, they can be measured in volume in. They can be measured by volume in liters. Volume of any solid, liquid, or gas is the measure of the amount of space that they occupy. When you buy pulses or potatoes, you buy them according to the volume or according to their weight, that is grams or kilograms. Liquids are bought according to the space they occupy. So for liquid, it is the liters which is used as the standard unit. So we're talking about liters. So for example, if you see this, what is it that I'm holding in my hand? I'm holding a milk packet. And can you see what's written here? It's written 1 liter, right? You will never find 1 kg written on a probably something which is liquid. It will all something which is liquid. It is always given in the form of liters, and it is very cold because I've taken it out from the fridge straight away. All right, and things which are generally solid, we buy them on the basis of their weight, like gram or kilogram. So we have learned so much about water. And I always tell students, you are not supposed to waste water, because imagine a day without water. Try and do this activity. You will not drink water for the entire day. And that is when you will realize how important water is for our body. All right. And try and think of ways through which you can actually use the waste water as well. A very small way that I always tell my students is, if you have, let's say, water purifiers at your home, or if you have, let's say, air conditioner, so whatever water that is wasted or that is dispersed from them, probably you can use it for, let's say, cleaning of the house. This way you have saved water rather than filling the bucket with an entire let's say with fresh water. What you have done, you have reused water and you have saved a lot of water. I hope you all enjoyed reading the chapter. And now see what has happened to this glass. It's the same glass in which we had put in salt. Does it look like? And I don't want to taste it. So we'll not taste it, of course, but look at this. Salt has completely disappeared. It seems as if this is just normal glass of water, but there is salt in it, right? So two things that you, in fact, three activities that you're going to do. First, try this activity of making a probably a solvent. Second, answer to that question that a nail, it sinks, but a ship, it remains on the water. What makes that? And the third thing is, third activity is not the activity of staying without water. The activity is to save water and be a responsible citizen. All right. Thank you so much.